viewers, welcome to another game of Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing game number 2 of the best of 3 between Grubby and Liquid Red. Liquid Red, of course, as the Zerg player in the bottom left, and Grubby in the bottom right as the Protoss player. So we already saw game number 1, and I'm going to root for Grubby this game because it's not because Grubby is from the Netherlands, because they're both from the Netherlands. It's also not because I think he's the better player, it's solely because, I hope that this goes to game number 3, because I like it when they fully play out their best off. So when it goes to 3 or 5 or 7, I like that. I like that, because it kind of makes them play better in that last game, and that last game is normally not as exciting as the games before it, but it can definitely be. I mean, the last game is normally not that exciting, but mostly game number 2 and in the best of 5 game number 3, those are the exciting games because people come up with crazy strategies then to kind of try out in a tournament, and that's just plain cool. I mean, that is the way it is, and therefore, I hope that Grubby wins this one, because obviously Red took the first one. So, apparently Grubby named his clan after himself, which is, whatever. It's not narcissistic at all. No. Are you kidding me? No. And Red is just playing for Liquid, Team Liquid, who have really made a name for themselves in the last few years. And they're doing really well. They have some really big players, and I don't know really, well, I like the website, but I don't really know anything about the rest of the team, so whether they have a sponsor or whether they are the sponsor. So teamliquid.net might actually be the sponsor of the team, or I don't know. It doesn't really matter either. I don't really like that that it all gets distorted by the chrono boost. Yeah. It looks so pretty without it. I mean, look at that. It all looks so cute. It's really well drawn, and especially for a game that can run armies of 200. That's really amazing. Because normally in these games, and I have the graphics like set to minimum something, but there are so many like nice little details of things that move and just do things. Yeah, it's just really cute. I like it. I like it a lot. We are going to expand here. Obviously, Zerg player already did that. Hatchery's almost coming up. The queen is already going towards the hatchery. The queen, of course, did his one larvae thingy and then ran to the other base, making a new queen here. And that queen, of course, is going to stick with this. It's going to come out a little bit after these eggs drop, or these larvae drop. But yeah, it's pretty close. It is definitely better than having to create a queen here, so a new queen, because that would take another like 25 seconds. 50 seconds actually. Wow, that was completely off. That's all good. That's all good. The queens used to be able to do spawn larvae on 2 hatcheries at the same time, so people would build 2 hatcheries close to each other and then have one queen in between them. So for example, if you would have one here, and then it could walk over here and then it would spawn larvae there, and then immediately you can send it back to do the larvae here. But yeah, Blizzard decided, well, that is kind of too messy, and it kind of it's kind of not what they intended to do. Why they did that? So why it had more energy than it strictly needed for the larvae was because they wanted to get the creep spread, so the creep tumors, as a free thing. Now you have to build an extra queen to make the creep tumors, but well, they kind of changed it because of that. Anyhow, we are seeing the Phoenix out. Phoenix, of course, a very good anti-air fighter, and definitely good again in large groups. So once you get like 5 of them, you can take out queens easily, and from 2 onwards you can do the graviton beam trick, where you use the graviton beam to pick up one of the units and then just shoot it with all of with the other units. Yeah, the thing is that yeah, against queens that only works if you have at least 5. And yeah, he's just really aggressive with the scouting here. And lost a little bit of health on that, but yeah, that's quite alright. It is not a big deal to lose a little bit of health because, well, you're Protoss, you regenerate your shields at least, and your shields are mostly about half your health. In this case, it's 60 shields and 120 health, so it's 1/3, but yeah, on average, it's about half. Of course, the Archons make that shift towards the shield direction quite a bit, and this is kind of silly because he only has one guy shooting at it. Now there are 2 guys shooting at it, and he should be able to get the queen, yeah, in 2 pickups. And here we're going to get the other queen, but new queen coming up. It is going to attack this guy because that is the lowest guy, and no, not going for it. Okay, there you go. Finally taking that out, and a new Phoenix comes in. So this harassment is very efficient once you get, as I said, 5 up, but he already did it with 3 because he knows that, well, I may have to pick it up twice, but it will still work, and that is the main thing, right? The main thing is that it actually works. So we have 1 Phoenix almost dead, and, well, 1 Phoenix without shields, but for the rest, it's all good. It's all good in the hood. So yeah, picking up one of the drones once again. So 2 drones have gone down so far, but for the rest, not a whole lot happening there. Of course, picking off the queens is huge. I mean, you don't get to spawn larvae anymore. You have to build these spore crawlers to defend your bases. All kinds of goodies come from the queen, so if you can destroy them, that obviously is a big deal. So we are going to pick off a few more. I think he lost 1 of them. Oh no, it's still there. It's still there. It came from the other side of the screen. And yeah, they are fighting a little bit over this base, but yeah, there are only a few Zerglings out, so it's not a big deal. And are we going to be able to take out, because there is already an observer out, so if he gets 1 unit out here, doesn't matter which unit, he can take out all of these creep tumors before they spread too much, and he needs to do that well, as soon as possible, because obviously there is going to be defense, that's one, but second, they keep spreading. So yeah, now there is defense on the way. And oh, yeah, the Phoenixes cannot go up against the Hydralisk. He did kill 1 for 1, but Hydralisk are relatively cheap. Phoenix, of course, also not a very expensive unit, but you can do a lot with them. And because of that, you have to watch out with them. The Hydralisk are kind of an anti-air unit normally. And once again, picking off that Overlord, and we are going to make it out, no problem. There is a Zergling over here that can be picked off. And he has plenty of energy. So, I mean, all 4 of them have energy. Yeah, there you go. Only 1 shot, not a problem. So, yeah, this guy, for example, the Mothership Core, could actually start taking out these creep tumors. Because if you destroy the active one, you can no longer spread them. And once again, 1 of them goes down. The Hydralisk, a very good counter, of course, against air units. They're damage heavy, but they're not very good against, well, the heavier units. I mean, these are light units. Against armored units, they do less damage, basically. So they do, instead of the 13 they do currently, they would do, yeah, 12 or 11. Depending on which unit you are attacking. And that is why it's not very good against the Stalkers, because Stalkers do extra damage versus armored. Of course, do less damage versus the normal units, which is exactly why the Hydralisks are a good choice, because they are not armored. So they are light units, and therefore the Stalkers will not do extra damage to them. However, these guys, yeah, they will still do massive damage to them, 17 damage with 2 attacks, so you can do 34 damage total. And wow, we have swarm hosts out, Haven't seen swarm hosts in quite a while, but they are very, very strong. People are still kind of figuring out how to play with them exactly, and the pros, yeah, they're getting better with them. That's for sure, and they're definitely useful. I mean, swarm hosts are kind of useful in certain situations, and they can definitely be used with great efficiency against invading armies, but also against buildings. And that is kind of where they come in to defeat stationary targets. And look at that, blinking right on top of those swarm hosts, making sure that they cannot get away. And he's going to do that again here, I'm assuming. Yeah, not now that the locusts are out. Of course, well, that will come in later, and yeah, he's just going to march in, and he can see them because there are observers out, and they are just going to melt straight away. You need to protect them so hard, because if you don't protect them, they're going to just completely get defeated. Yeah, this is just so over. Bye-bye. I will see you next time. Yeah, indeed, the GG comes out. Just too many stalkers, and stalkers are the bread and butter of the Protoss army, and just not enough to deal with that. The swarm hosts were, well, a good choice, I think, but he needed to back that up with something like roaches. Roaches can really deal with the stalkers pretty efficiently. He needed more defense basically against that. Yeah, kind of got too much harass going with those those, I want to say Phoenix. Yeah. So the early game Phoenixes, they did a lot of damage, and yeah, he just well worked from there, and well made a very, very nice army, and just marched, yeah, point for point into the base. Hope you enjoyed. On to game number 3, I guess, and yeah, I'll see you next time. GG.